And alongside our senior hockey reporter, Frank Seravalli, and our director of scouting, Craig Button. Guys, we're less than 24 hours away to the NHL's trade deadline. And given the names that are still on TSN's trade bait board, when you look at those names, what team do you think needs to make the ad the most before the deadline, Craig?
I think it's clearly the Pittsburgh Penguins. Listen, Jim Rutherford is not here to fiddle with the dials. You got Crosby, Malkin, Letang. They're older players. He's made moves earlier, getting Nick Bukestad. We've seen moves he's made in previous years. It's all about winning the Stanley Cup. They've had wild inconsistency in their performance this year. Losing streaks, winning streaks, and right now they're on the outside of the playoffs looking in. To me, this is something Jim Rutherford has to really examine hard and add.
Well, I've been looking at the trade bait board and trying to figure out, Craig, which guys might make sense for the Pittsburgh Penguins. At forward, I can really only come up with Gustav Nyquist as a fit, but very suddenly the Penguins might need some help on defense. You look at Brian Dumoulin and Chris Letang going down on the same shift in the Stadium Series on Saturday night. All of a sudden, they're a team that could be in the market for a defenseman. The only problem is there that, again, the market is rather thin. We've seen some of the guys clearing up, drying up defensively. Ben Lovejoy, Nick Jensen, both off the board on Friday, and all of a sudden the market's very thin.
Is there a team, though, that you think has to add before Monday's deadline?
I think it's the Winnipeg Jets. Look, I think there's intense pressure under Kevin Cheveldayoff to try and make a move to improve this team moving forward. They got to the Western Conference Final last year, and you look at their team, it's the same team before the deadline that was there last year. They went out and added Paul Stastny. I still think they need another second-line center for that team. Bump Brian Little down a little bit to the third line, but they could probably use any forward that they could plug into their top six. We know that they're in on Mark Stone. I still think a center fit is ideal for the Jets.
I think the center fit is the only fit. You got Ehlers, you got Wheeler, you got Laine, and you got Kyle Connor. I think their need is absolutely in the middle of the ice, a layer between Scheifele and Little.
As long as teams need to add, that's good news for us on Trade Center on Monday. Director of Scouting Craig Button and our senior hockey reporter Frank Seravalli.